Hey crafty friends, welcome back to the Old Paper Lady. I'm Lori. If you're new here, welcome and thank you for joining us. I'm going to put together my botanical herb journal today. I've already got the cover and everything put together, got the signatures sewn in, got my closure. I'm just going to use a piece of garden twine, basically baker's twine. But we use it in the garden to tie up like tomato bushes, cucumbers, and stuff like that. And what I done was I just took and crossed it around where I sewed the signature in so it would have a closure front and back. And this is going to be my personal herb journal. I found this fabric at Hobby Lobby. I thought it would be just beautiful for a garden journal, you know, especially my herb journal. So I did take a few pieces of the fabric, cut off pieces. I made a belly band to put here in the front, and I made a side tuck to put in the back, and I just kept the branding strip basically on it. And I had already separated out front and back. This page kit came from, I can't pronounce it. Right there's the name, so hopefully you can see it. Not even going to try to butcher it. So that is botanical herbs. And then the actual herb pages where it came, I did, you can print it as whole journal pages, but I did 2 5.5 by 7s. And these are, so basically like it'll come with the picture and then the description beside of it. So you can print it as actual journal pages itself, and or you could do like I did and print 2 per page. So that's what I did with those, because I just wanted, and then I folded them in half and glued them together and inked around it basically. So then you have the picture on the front of what your herb is, and then the description of it on the back. And it does does like its habit, its flowers, the habitat, and the uses for it. And I thought that would be really good. And that came from Fun Ink Art Coloring right there. So I thought that would be really useful for people that have a herb garden. Because most of the time, if I don't grow, you know, like a whole big vegetable garden, I always grow herbs. Because you always use herbs in cooking. For like spices and seasonings and stuff. And if you can see, I just took the twine and wrapped it around that, so it would be my closure. And again, I got this, and it's covered office envelopes, the white ones, so the vanilla would not show through. And then this black ticking fabric I got at the Dollar Tree. So I thought that would be great for inside journal covers. So it has, you know, like on the actual journal pages, it has a bunch of pictures of herbs and little scripts and sayings and stuff about the herbs and that. So I took and put those, and I think it was, I want to say it was like 5 or 6 pages of the actual herb journal, and then I put coffee dye, and I did some of the shorter, you know, and basically on these, what I did was I wanted to have an envelope where I'm going to glue this to the page, and I'm going to put like my herb descriptions and stuff in them, and then if I want that pack of seeds for that, I'll put it in here. So my seed pack will fit in there as well, basically is what I was thinking. So then I would have everything together, and I'm going to glue these on here, and it will flip out. And I'll have my pack of seeds in it with the herb description. And then I can write down up here, you know, like when I planted this and that, you know, and all of this stuff. That's my thinking for my personal journal anyways. And basically I had cut-offs from the fabric, and I just took and glued it on the envelopes. Because I didn't want just, you know, basic envelopes. But like I say, this is my This is going to be my personal herb journal, so I didn't do a whole lot of fancy up on it. And like I said, I'm just going to take and glue these onto the page where they would be like a flip out. And that's what I'm going to do with them. And I think that's going to be quite cute. So then I can get in here and I can put my herbs in there. Holy basil is really good. It's really fragrant. It's in the mint family, and therefore it will take over your garden bed. If you plant holy basil, you'll have holy basil forever, because birds will eat it, wildlife will eat it, and you'll find it popping up any and everywhere. And the seeds from the flowers, the wind to catch them, and you'll have holy basil. You got to be careful; it'll take over your garden. So I would put it in a pot by itself, because once it starts, it keeps going, honey. So I'm just going to put, you know, my little, and St. John's wort's really good for healing factors. So I'm just going to put those in there like that, and that's it. And that's what I'm going to do. So I took some, like, goldenrod's really good. It's in the daisy family, and it'll come back year after year most of the time. It's used to support your urinary tract health and stuff like that. And it's also a mild anti-inflammatory. It's really good in a tincture. Lavender is beautiful to look at. It's also in the mint family, and it does spread a little bit, but not bad. So, but lavender, you know, is used to help sleep. You can make soaps. You can make tea out of the leaves to steep them and stuff like that. So I just thought I'd put a few of the prettier flower pictures in underneath the belly band here in the front. I can put them like that. I'd rather have them like this, to be quite honest. I'd rather have them that way so you can see the flower. I like that. Because I was going to, you know, go full out, and I was like, well, this is just my personal journal. I just wanted, you know, because pretty much, you know, I wanted the what a picture of it looked like when it was in full bloom, and then the description of it and what you could use it for. So that's my that was what I wanted, and I love this. And so, like I said, I just took cut-offs of the fabric, and just you know, pretty pieces of the fabric, and I'm just put it on my envelopes, because then that way I could hold my seed packets in here, and all of that good stuff. And that's what I'm just going to, you know, stagger them top to bottom or what have you, so it's not all the same puffiness from one end to the other. And it's no rhyme or reason with these. I just delicated out a couple front and back to fill up the envelopes, and then when I go to start planting, I will get my seeds and stuff, because most of your herbs you can plant them straight from seed, and as soon as it's not, your ground's not frozen. And a lot of herbs will make it through the winter time, like rosemary and stuff like that. Hardy herbs will make it through the winter time. Oregano, depending on how big the plant is, and sage, if it's woody on your sage plant, or your like the stems at the bottom of it are woody, then yeah, it'll make it through the winter time. But if it hasn't started getting woody on the bottom limbs, it's going to be a cold hardy. And then on your seed packets, when you get those, it'll tell you, you know, the hardiness zone, like your planting zone. Turmeric is, you have to get a piece of turmeric to plant, and it's in the ginger family, but it's really good for anti-inflammatory. I use a lot of turmeric powder, just add it into pretty much about everything I cook, basically. just because it's a good anti-inflammatory. But as you can see, you know, I just took the envelopes and decorated them with just cut off pieces, you know, that I thought would be pretty. Have some little bit of decoration on them, you know, not a whole bunch. And it doesn't really, you know, like this says rosemary on it, but it doesn't really have a whole bunch of names of the herbs on the fabric. But I just thought it would be pretty to put the leftover cut-offs, make a few things for those. And then I still do have some of the fabric, so I was thinking, you know, later on, if I needed to add a few more places, you know, like basil. Basil is my favoriteest to grow and plant beside of my tomatoes. You plant basil and marigold around your tomato plants. It keeps the white flies and stuff out from around your tomato plants, and they last longer. So a lot of herbs, it's not just in the herb garden, they are also beneficiary to your other plants in your garden. So that's how I plant most of the time. I'll do like one year I had like a tomato bed where I had I don't know, probably about 15 tomato plants, and in the middle I put corn. So around all of the tomato plants, on one side I put a basil plant, and then on the other side I put a marigold, and alternated all the way around. It was so pretty because, you know, the basil has the purple flowers and you have the marigolds, and they range from African marigolds to, you know, just plain Jane marigolds were like, they are like a yellow, a white, and an orangey looking. And that bed was the prettiest bed I think I've grown, just because of the flowers and the different tomato varieties that I had in it. Because I had like, you know, I like to grow, it's called a Purple Heart. It's kind of like a smaller, indeterminate tomato, and it grows about 3 foot tall, and they are like a real smoky tasting tomato, just great for hamburgers, great for a salad. And so I grew a bunch of those, and they grow, like I said, about 3 foot tall, and they're the prettiest shade of like a reddish purple burgundy, just the smokiest flavor, just awesome tomatoes. And they're and made really good spaghetti sauce with it, just awesome. Now my spaghetti sauce, I'll take and mix all kinds of tomatoes together and make it. So I had a bunch of those, like, you know, lower plants, because like I said, I had corn, 4 rows of corn. It was a 5 foot wide by a 12 foot long bed, or 14 foot, however long the fence posts were. I just put fence posts down, put some, and plant. Basically, I just built a raised bed right on top of a grassy area. I put down cardboard, put down some good soil, like garden bed soil, and took some cinder blocks that had the little slots for like your wood, made the corners and the intersections, and put down just it was like a 6 inch wide by 6 foot long fencing cover post, and that's what I used because they were like $2 a piece. And I said, shoot, and I put me a bed together with that. And I've used those beds for several years until the wood started disintegrating, and then I just took them down. I just have took them down this past summer, actually. I've used those beds like that, and I got me a little bitty 4-tong little garden tiller that weighed about 10-15 pounds. And I'd go till those beds up and add some fresh soil to it, or put bone meal and blood meal in it, and Epsom salt, and sprinkle it around and till it up. And then in the holes, when I plant any planting, I put bone meal, blood meal, and Epsom salt. And that's all of your pHness of your plants will need. And then you just put the plant in the hole and water it. It does really good that way. But like I said, I just have taken those beds down. Now this is that came in an order from Botanical Interest, and I just thought I'd put that on there. But yeah, like I said, this is just my personal herb journal. But I didn't intend on putting this on a video because, like I said, it is my personal one. So I was like, you know, I don't know if they'd have interest in that or not, but I'm going to put it on the video to show them how I done it and the reasons why I did what I did with the envelopes is because, you know, I want to be able to put a seed pack in it. These are the flowers. Now, chamomile and calendula. Calendula is really good for skin care, any burns, creams, salves, and inflammation, topical type. Chamomile, you know, sleep tea, anti-inflammatory. It's great. It's also for topical skin irritations, but most of the time it's used for herbal tea for sleeping. So those I wanted to put back here in this little tuck spot here. I think that would be pretty there. Just, you know, some pretty florals. Fennel is, it's a particular taste. It's in the carrot family, but it kind of tastes, let's see, kind of like licorice is what it kind of tastes like, but it's used in cooking a lot and supports good digestive systems and bloating and stuff like that. It's really good for respiratory issues. Fennel is. Now parsley, I'll plant the heck out of some parsley and rosemary. I love having big rosemary bushes everywhere. Go out and cut it off, put it in a chicken and stuff like that. Turkey for rosemary is awesome. So yeah, this is it's kind of plain Janey, but it's going to be awesome to put, you know, like I planted it this time. It should be able, you know, harvested this much from it. And I have, like I said, I have a 10 tray dehydrator. So I use it to put it on the lowest setting, and will dehydrate my herbs in it on the lowest setting. And then I'll take, and I've got a mini, just a, what's one, Hamilton Beach, one of those individual smoothie blenders, and that's what I use to blend my herbs up. And I'll put them in a thing with alternate absorbers most of the time, and you can use them throughout the year. But yep. And most of the time with my rosemary, I'll go out before it starts turning too cold, and I'll clip everything that I can that's like a soft ends on it. If it's woody, you can still clip them and use them, but you'll want to pull those out of your cooking, like you just put it in for the seasoning, the factor of the, you don't really want to eat that. But now if you put it on things to eat, you want to get the soft tips. But most of the time, my rosemary, I'll just take and just go out and pull everything off of the plant that I can that's not woody. And I'll just put it in a freezer bag and put it in my freezer and pull it out when I need it. And that's how I use it most of the time. Very seldom do I dehydrate the rosemary and use it in that way. I'll freeze it and use it, pull it out and use it kind of fresh like. And then I do take virgin olive oil, the light kind, and make like an ice cube out of mixed herbs. I'll do that. Dill's really good, you know, for pickles and catnips. Keeps away mosquitoes and stuff like that. And it's got really pretty flowers. But Deal's, you know, you use that for pickles and pickling products. But yeah, so, and this one I just did a few cut aparts of, you know, just different things. That, and I said, you know, that looks kind of childish, but I just wanted those little clippy bits there on it. And I did not think ahead to, you know, this is going to be in the front, that's going to be in the back, you know, for the flip outs. That's why some of them are on this side flipping. Yep, oregano. Love oregano. And then any type of mint. Just know that if you plant any type of mint at all, you have spearmint, peppermint. There's black mint is really good for teas. It tastes licoricey too, so be forewarned. But, yep. And then this one here, thought was really pretty. I tried to get as much as I could on it. I have not grown lemongrass. I want to try to grow that because I've heard it's really good tea. Makes really good tea. It gives you that that lemon flavor without having to have the lemon juice. You know what I'm saying? So I would like to try to grow lemongrass to add into teas and such. Yeah, it's used for herbal tea, medical, digestive issues, reduces inflammatory, acts as an antimicrobial. And then, of course, you know, aloe. You got to have aloe if you cook very much. It's great aloe plants for, says uses for, and it's a topical. You break it apart and get the juice out of it, or the salve out of it, and you don't really have to do nothing else with it, but just pull the leaf off of it, and it's ready to use. Sage, I love sage. Now I did have a humongous sage plant that it was about 3 foot around and about 2-3 foot tall, and it got to where it was really woody, and I wound up pulling it out. And I do have a lot of this little peppermint growing wild in my yard. The deers eat the heck out of it. So, but yeah, anything, if it says it's in the mint family, be cautious that it will spread throughout your yard. Not just in your garden beds, throughout your whole yard. Because it is a spreader. So my suggestion on any type of anything that's in the mint family whatsoever is to put it in a pot. Put it in a container. And I wasn't moving these up and down. I just kept putting them all in the same space, but that's okay. Yeah, pretty much all of them. And see how, like, I moved these up and down, and then the back part's all kind of in one spot, so it's going to be a little puffier in the back side, but that's all right. But yeah, I love sage. Sage, you know, use it, chicken, poultry seasoning. And you just take the leaves and you can hang dry your herbs. You don't have to dehydrate them. A lot of people say that dehydrating takes, and it does, it takes out some of the benefits, but it's still, you know, for cooking purposes, it's still the same thing. And that is really, really crooked, is it not? That's okay. It's my journal. It ain't going to matter. That's why I keep saying, this is my journal. It's not really going to matter that much. It's just, you know, basically for my use. But I saw that fabric, and I was like, and I have, you know, I have their grow towers from, what the heck are they called? Now, I would know the name of them had I not been trying to say the name of them. But anyways, they're grow towers, and they stack, and they have like 6 pockets on them. One of them I have is a 5-tier one. The other one is a 7-tier. And they are really great to grow herbs in. Now, be mindful, like I said, if you plant a mint in one pocket, the mint will spread all the way around in that whole section of that pot. So most of the time I'll do like one layer a mint, and then, you know, do like you can do what is it, chives. You can, and chives and onions in one. They grow really good in those as well. But yeah, so that is my personal herb journal there. I'm not gonna do a flip back through because we saw, you know, what I put in there and what I was doing with it. But yeah, I think that's going to be plumb cute and very useful for me. And I just wanted to do the little tie. And I think that's going to be plumb sweet. I love that little journal. I think that's going to be very helpful for me in my garden this year. So that way, you know what, where to go get them. There's several different herb journal type journal pages of different colors and kinds, and they have, you know, basically like the herbal things on them. And then there's also, like I said, this is probably the best one that I found. It's from Fun Ink Art Coloring, where it has the 30 pages of the herbs. Now you can take and print these as a full size, like I was saying, and I may go back and do that too. Print it as a full size journal page, you know, like a 11 by 8.5, and then that way fold them towards each other and then glue them. So like where this here has the herb and the description and all of that, so then I would take this one and glue it to the back of it so that the herb and the description are facing each other on the full size pages. That would be a great journal to make as well. And then you can put you like a little half page in it, or you could put a pocket on it and put your seeds in it and all of that, and a little grow chart with each one. That would be a really good idea to do as well. But like I said, you know, just know that when you print these, it is intended to be a full-size journal page, you know, 11 by 8.5. I just printed it 2 to a page, so I could use them as a tuck. Alrighty, y'all, I'm gonna put this in my garden box, because, you know, I'm gonna make more garden journals later on. Not probably not this year, but, you know, I will make garden journals from time to time, and be on the lookout for some more fabric. This fabric was just awesome. Like I said, I found it at Hobby Lobby, and I do believe they still had it when I was up there around Christmas time. But I'm sure you can find some type of floral garden type theme this year when they come out with the new spring things. So thank y'all so much for coming along, and I just wanted to you know, show you my personal journal, and it's fairly simple, but it's going to be very useful. Thank you all. We'll see you tomorrow.